Do you remember the pop group Milli Vanilli? Do you remember those two really cool, good-looking black guys? Girl, I Know It's You. They were the big pop sensation of the 90s, and they were out there doing massive hits until one day they went on stage and someone got the lip sync recording wrong. Suddenly exposed the fact that these two guys were lip syncers to real artists that were actually doing the singing. Now the real Milli Vanilli tried coming out. That didn't work. Milli Vanilli were actually shunned, and even though they tried to actually do solo careers, it actually ended up tragically in one of them committing suicide. It was a horrible situation where they tried to be and lip sync other people's tunes. Now, totally different to this. A few years back, I was in San Francisco. A friend of mine, Jason Gay, and I had an event called Mastermind Talks, and I got to meet the real Freeway Rick Ross. God, I've got a bit of a list, but that's not easy to say. This is the guy that of the 80s and 90s, there were movies made about this guy as he was the largest distributor of drugs in South LA. And most of it was cannabis, weed, marijuana, those kind of things. And he got put away for a very, very long time. He was involved in movies where people talked about how powerful and influential he was in that industry. And you know, the funny thing is, most of what he sold that he went to jail for is today legal. In fact, I did an event for a friend of mine, Chris Collins, downtown LA, and I actually brought Freeway Rick Ross across to actually talk about, you know, what he'd gone through, how to, and I brought along another friend of mine who was one of the largest owners of stores that provided weed in California, which, let's be serious, there's more weed shops in LA than there are Starbucks. This guy is making a fortune, multi millions of dollars, because it's legal for something that Rick Ross went to prison for. You see, the funny thing is, I'm asking you, when you're looking at your product, is your product bad? Is it wrong? Or is it the bad time? Because if you think about it now, there are women on TikTok that are making an absolute fortune quite simply by lip syncing other people's tunes and just doing it in a bloody bikini, which was exactly what Milli Vanilli was doing so many years ago, that actually made them embarrassed, humiliated, and led to one of their deaths. But people on TikTok now, no shame about it, they're making a fortune on it. People are getting licenses and opening up weed shops. So it wasn't a case of whether or not it was in demand, it was a case of whether it was in demand today. I want you to think about the timing. I saw a great article and a show once on George Michael, Wham. And they said that they had done this song and they had tried to get it out there. No one wanted it. And it was out for like about 4 or 5 years. No one touched it. Never got any airplay. Then they did another tune. That was semi-successful. They brought this other one out. And I think it was Club Tropicana. Suddenly became a massive hit. And now Wham were on the radios absolutely everywhere. And they were on the radar and they were on their way to fortune and fame. But no one had paid attention to it before then. So while they thought it was an annoying tune, the timing wasn't right when they brought it out. I don't want you to be too vicious with the products you've got. I just want you to sit back and maybe simmer on it, move on, park it, and try it again a year later. You may find out your product, your solution is not bad. You may find out the time is. Okay? So don't doom and gloom it. Don't shove it in a box and go, oh my God, woe is me. This was crap. It just may have been the wrong time to produce that greatness. Try that. Milli Vanilli was sure shit wish they had.